Hello and what is going on, guys? Today we're going to talk about tankies. I'm gonna give you guys a quick introduction to you guys who don't know, and then we're gonna get into Caleb Moppin. I know, I know. It's Caleb Moppin right here, guys. Caleb Moppin, the Spankie Tankie. We'll talk about that too. Anyways, tankies are basically Stalinists. They deny genocide. They're horrible people. They're not very far from fascists. They're called so-called red fascists. Doesn't make them good. They're bad people. They've got bad arguments, and they should not be a part of the leftist movement. Never invite tankies into the left. They will ruin our reputation. They're the people. When people say, "Oh, the communists did all these evil things," they mean tankies. Yeah, it's the tankies' fault. The tankies are bad, very bad. Maoist, Stalinist, Marxist, Leninist, at least the authoritarian ones, but yeah, most of them, really. Yeah, bad people. Bad, bad, bad. Let's though take a look at Caleb Moppin because he is a special guy. My dude Caleb. Yes. He started a sex cult. Communist sex cult. Wasn't very communist though, but yeah. Um and the word Spankie Tankie, well I guess tanky comes from, well, the fact that he's a tanky, but the spanky part, yeah, I'm not gonna get into details, but he's got some weird tendencies sometimes when it comes to women. I will leave it at that. I will leave it at that. I was very sus of him, and he basically did some sexual offensive shit to the other members of his organization, I guess. Yeah. Let's talk though about what Caleb Moppin is gonna say about Russia. Because he thinks Putin is a friend of the communists, which is the most hilarious thing I've ever heard.
Would you describe Putin as a revolutionary? Not really. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily. I mean, there are things he does that are certainly
It's
revolutionary. He
because he's not a
supports
revolutionary.
Venezuela. That's revolutionary. He supports Cuba. That's revolutionary. He supports Nicaragua. That's revolutionary. He's supporting the people of Eastern Ukraine in their right, to not be bombarded and to resist the fascism and
Again, the lies. But you guys know the lies by this point. This guy is a Russian propagandist, basically. But he's a so-called lefty, according to him, which is a lie. Again.
Kiev. That
I mean, I guess tankies are on the left, but I don't like to think they're on the left. I've got no left-leaning values, basically, whatsoever, except that they think they are pro-worker by being anti-worker. Their entire ideology makes zero sense.
the forces that are tearing down World War II memorials and outlawing their language. He's standing with them and mobilizing the country to support them against the attacks from the United States. That's revolutionary.
What attacks? The USA didn't invade Russia.
But no, Putin didn't come to power in a revolution. He came to power as kind of a Bonapartist because Russia was in such a mess in the 1990s that the remnants of the old Soviet bureaucracy, the state run industries, the security services, they stepped up and they said, we got to save the country.
Yeah, by the way, the Putin KGB agent, yeah. Okay, so what? Because he's a KGB agent, he's a communist. Okay, I get it.
The country was being devastated by free market neoliberalism. And Putin was somebody who was
Yeah, the country, okay. He says it was ruined by free market neoliberalism. And now the country is controlled by authoritarian capitalism, which is not better in a single way. It's not at all better. It's only worse. Authoritarian capitalism is only worse than neoliberal capitalism. If we got like a scale, like authoritarian capitalism is 10 out of 10, neoliberal is like 7 out of 10. This guy's completely lost it.
was in with the security services. He was in with the old, state bureaucracy. He was patriotic to the country. He'd been involved in fighting against the Chechen separatist terrorists, and he was somebody to get the job done. And he doesn't, Putin has said many times that anyone who doesn't mourn the loss of the Soviet Union has no heart, but anyone who wants to restore the Soviet Union has no brain.
Exactly, Caleb. Moppin maybe should have listened to that second part.
He doesn't want to bring back the Soviet Union. He doesn't believe in Marxism anymore, though he draws heavily from it. And he's talked about that. He's influenced by it.
Where is he influenced by Marxism? I guess he's influenced by like hardcore Stalinism because he can be authoritarian, but that's it. That's where the similarities end.
but he's also critical by it. The Soviet Union is a big part of Putin's political heritage, but he rejects Marxism in a lot of ways, right? If you listen to Putin talk, he's Putin, right? And that he represents a lot of different class forces that want Russia to continue developing and getting stronger as a country and are rejecting the dominance of Western.
They're making Russia weaker because it's a corrupt oligarchy. That is not making a country stronger. That's by definition making a country weaker because you are taking the resources and exploiting the people for a small elite class, which will not make the country stronger. It will make the elites richer, which Caleb Maupin should ideologically be against, as he's a communist, so called. So that's straight hypocrisy from Caleb Maupin.
Capitalism, and part of that is the heritage of the Soviet Union. Part of that is the Russian capitalism and the market sector that exists. Part of that is the state bureaucracy, the state-run industries. Part of that is the Russian Orthodox Church. Putin represents a very big coalition of broad class forces in Russia that want Russia to flourish, and the Western imperialists want to crush Russia. And Putin is in an alliance with all the communists around the world. And I've said this many, many times, right? And people get all fired up and insist this isn't true. Well, it's true. Real communists in this
Let's hear it. This is not going to be good, guys.
world support Russia.
That's a straight lie. It's the biggest lie. Like he just lied. Real communists don't support Russia. He's a liar. He's a fake communist. That's what he is. He's a fake communist. Real communists wouldn't call you a communist, okay?
All right, North Korea, communist-led country. They support Russia.
No, it's not communist. It's starve the people ideology. Maybe tanky ideology. I don't care. I don't call that communism. It's got one of the biggest class hierarchies ever. It is not. Communism is the classless society. North Korea is the definition of a non-classless society with a strict hierarchy.
Nicaragua, communist-led country, run by the Sandinistas. They support Russia. Venezuela, communist-led country, led by Maduro, United Socialist Party. They
Should we talk about like taking Venezuela up as an example? They're one of the worst countries in the world to live in right now. Yeah, they're tankies. They're also tankies.
support Russia. China, led by the Communist Party. They support Russia. Vietnam, led by the Communist Party. They support Russia. Huge Communist Party in Angola, the MPLA. They've got good relations with Russia. Huge Communist Party in South Africa, the ANC. Good relations with Russia. The African National Congress and the South African Communist Party, they support Russia. Right? India, there's a huge Communist Party. The Communist Party of India, Marxist. They run Kerala. They support Russia. Real communists in the world, the real communist parties in the world that have millions of members, that have seats in parliaments, that are actually running governments, they support Russia.
That's all fake. They're fake communists, every single one of them. I don't believe that a real communist can side with Russia in this issue. Anyways, though, I guess that a real communist wouldn't necessarily have to side with the West or Ukraine, but a real communist cannot side with Russia, and a good communist should side with Ukraine.
You're stupid fucking Western leftists that all they talk about is LGBT and all they care about is yelling at their parents for being, you're racist.
Okay, all you care about is doing weird shit to women, so really shut up because we could get into that and that's not gonna make you look good.
Mom and Dad, you're racist. You're racist. I'm not going to listen to you.
Caleb Muppet has turned into a baby, by the way.
They don't support Russia, right? Your bread tube, synthetic left. I'm going to.
Yeah, I also fixed the bread tube wants to murder him, which is the real lefties. And the real lefties had literally only said that he's not allowed into a certain place because he's a fascist, which he is. And then he's crying that they want to murder him. Anyways, yeah. I think I've had enough of this. I think I have actually had enough of Caleb Maupin. The guy has gone completely Nuts. Okay, we can watch a little bit more. Let's see.
Gonna do a 40-minute video on why this Netflix movie I like is actually showing something that's vaguely Marxist. They don't support Russia, you know, you know, you know, but actual
I know, I know. They don't support Russia because Russia's evil, and you support Russia because you're evil.
communists in the world support Russia. That is a fact, right? I mean, go to international communist gatherings. The real communist parties with deep roots among the masses, they support Russia. Okay, stupid Western liberal kids don't support Russia, and they don't represent the global communist movement. They don't. And
Neither does you.
you can deny that all you want, and you can point to one example here or one example there. Doesn't matter. Real communists in this world support Russia. The real communist movement that turned Russia and China into superpowers, that made Cuba, a country that's the envy
How did real communist movements? Okay, you mean Soviet Union, right? I guess. Really weird. You said Russia. I thought he meant like he's like, oh well, Putin is not a communist. Putin is a communist, and the fact says Putin is the opposite of a communist.
of the world for its healthcare system. They support Russia. Overwhelmingly, they support Russia. The communists of the world support Russia. That is a fact, okay?
That's a lie, okay? That's it. I'm had enough with Caleb. Anyways, this guy, he's number one. He's number one, guys. He's number one in the evil tanky list. Tankies are not good people, but this guy is number one. He is the worst of the worst. Went to a NASBUL conference. He went to a NASBUL conference. This guy is so bad, it's unimaginable. Anyways, let's talk about something really funny that happened because a Russian government organization, the Embassy of Russia, actually tagged Caleb Maupin of all people. So yes, he is affiliated with the Russian state. This complete liar. He's basically been bribed, and he says that real communists support Russia. Well, I don't know. I don't think real communists take bribes from the Russian government, Caleb. And yet he does. He's the one and only, guys. That is what we're gonna finish off with. He is the one and only to ever obtain the title, the legendary title of the Spankie Tankie. And that is why Caleb Maupin, well, and Tankies in general, are complete liars. He's just the stupidest. The others are bad too, don't worry. But yeah, that's it for the Tanky arc for today. I'm hoping we're not gonna be forced to get back to Tankies for a while because really they're some of the most stupid people on earth and they really make shame upon the leftist movement. These people should not be a part of our parties. They should be out of them. They don't deserve a place. They really don't. We should never appeal to these people. They don't deserve it. They're outright bad people. So that's it. Shrem is out. That was my video covering Spankie Tankie.